Good morning, class. How are you? Great. Today we are going to learn something interesting about countries and areas that are familiar to us, and I'm sure that you really like it. If everyone's ready, let's get started by playing a small game to break the ice before going to the main sections. Now we are going to play a game called Which Country's Flag It Is? In this game, we are going to play in groups, Group 1 and Group 2. Each group will take turn to spin the wheel, look at the picture and answer my questions. Which country's flag it is? And each correct answer will get 1 point. At the end of the lesson, which group had the highest point will get a present from me. And remember that in this game, we'll have lose, turn, half score and double score. So try your best and let's get started. Group 1 first, your turn. Okay, so now I will hold the game by the ICT tool Wordwall. The first thing that the teacher needs to do is log in. If you haven't had the account, you can sign up here. Okay, you can sign in with Google or with Gmail. Like this, log in. And then with this game, the teacher needs to create the game at home. You can click on create activity and then pick a template. A note for use is that with the basic free account, you are allowed to use 5 resources only. If you have already used it, you cannot use anymore. And here I use a pro account. I have paid 105,000 Vietnam dong per month, and I can use a lot of templates without limitation, such as quiz, matchup, or random wheel, or open the box. So with the game of reading task, I choose random wheel. So here you can write the title here. I write which country's flag it is, and then is the instruction. It's optional, you can try it. And then is the questions. Here you can type text or upload the image. Here I upload the image of flag. And then you can add another item. So here I will type double score. And then look at this. You can see min 3 and max 50. It means that you need to create at least 3 questions and at most 50 questions. So move on to the next part here. This symbol allowed you to delete the questions. The next one allowed you to copy the questions when you want a question that is the same as the previous one. And the last symbol here allowed you to move the questions to any position you want by clicking and holding your mouse like this. When you finish creating, click done. So now you can see on the screen now the game here. So scrolling down, you can see that there are many themes you can choose. Christmas, TV game show, primary, or even you can choose the classic one like this. Moreover, there are many options. You can set the timer, count up, count down, or none, and set the timer 5 minutes, 6 minutes, or 4 minutes like this. Moreover, you can set the spin power, low or high. I choose high. If you want to shuffle item order, click here, and then apply to this activity. So now you can see that the button share. You can share private or public here. And also you can edit the content here. Let's start. So now you can see that this is the timer. Here there are many choices. You can choose start again or resume like this. Here is the sound. You can turn on or turn off here. And then you can enlarge the screen. If you want to spin the wheel, you can click spin it or drag the wheel to spin like this. If you want to stop, you can click any position in the wheel. Here is the questions for group 1. Which country's flag it is? Group 1.
Yeah, it's Vietnam.
Yeah, that's correct. 1 point for group 1. Very good. So, after the student answer the questions, the teacher can click on Eliminate to remove the questions like that. And then you can spin it again to move to the next questions for another group. One of the good features of Wordwall is that students do not need to use any devices like mobile phone or laptop. They just need to look at teacher's screen and turn on their mic to answer the questions. Now I will introduce to you how these ICT tools work in my lessons. Group 1, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, your turn. Group 1, which country's flag it is?
I think it's Laos.
That's right, very good. 1 point for Group 1. Group 2, pay attention to my screen. It's your turn. Group 2, which country's flag it is?
I think it's Myanmar, miss.
That's right. 1 point for Group 2. So now move on to the next task.
Alright, so after our first activity, can you guess what is the topic of our lesson today? Yes, let's see ASEAN. ASEAN means the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Now we're gonna read a text about ASEAN. So everyone, please open your book in Unit 5, being part of ASEAN with skill reading. And at the end of the lesson, you'll be able to read the text quickly for general ideas, and you can also scan the text to locate specific information about ASEAN, and you can also use the words and phrases related to ASEAN. As you can see on the screen, here are some new words that I give you to help you understand the text better. Now, in order to help you gain some knowledge about ASEAN, in this activity, you have to read all the 5 paragraphs in the left column, and then you have to match them with the suitable headings on the right. After completing, you work in pairs to compare your answers with your partners, and then I will call some of you to read the answer so that I can correct them. Now you have 10 minutes to finish the task. Remember, just read quickly for general ideas. Don't go into details because we don't have enough time. Now it's your turn. Let's get started.
After the second activity, let's move on to the next one. For your detailed understanding about this passage, first of all, you will look at 3 returning quizzes. It's your job to find the words or expressions in the text that have the same meaning as my given ones. Now I will share you a link as well as the code to Tran. For this activity, I have instructed teacher using the ICT tool Quizizz to make it more attractive. So, to prepare for this activity, first of all, teacher go to quizizz.com and then sign up easily with your account on Google or Microsoft. For example, here I log in with my Google account. Okay, now you will create your quiz by clicking on Create here. And then you are required to complete some basic information like the name of the quiz and relevant subjects, and click Next. You can see that there are some types of questions here like multiple choice, checkbox, fill in the blank, poem, short answers. And for this kind of activity, multiple choice and fill in blank are the good ones. So my first question is a multiple choice one. After typing the question as well as the answer, teacher click on the correct answers and set the time limit so that it is suitable with your lesson plan, and click on Save. Next, for the second question, let's say the filling blank questions and you also type your answer here. Set the time and save. Likewise, you will do some tasks for your other questions and click public when it's okay. Set the grade, and this quiz is for students in grade 11 and save it. It's okay now. When you start a live quiz, it has the classes and instructor based. For this activity, you should choose instructor based to control the pace of students and give the explanation for them after the answer. Click continue. After that, you will see the link as well as the code on the screen like this. Send it to your students so that they can join the quiz. You can see the name of your student here, and when there are enough students to join, click start. After each question, teacher can see the student result through the leaderboard and the answer of them for this question. And then teacher can give the explanation for it. Click next question. When students have done the answer, at this time, you can see there is a trend in the student's point, and there is one student answer incorrectly. If this is the last question, you will end the quiz. And here you can see the student with the best result. Also, the summary of your class accuracy and what is the toughest question. Also, the students' results of your class.
Now, let's move to the next task in your textbook. In this task, you will read the text again and answer the following questions. First of all, you will read 7 questions here and underline keywords. After that, you will read the text to find the answer to the questions. After you finish, you will work in pairs to compare the answer with your partners. And then I will call some of you to read the answer so that I can check and correct them. Now I give you 8 minutes to do this task. Remember to look only for specific information. Do not read everything because it will take a lot of time. Okay, let's get started. And next, to help you summarize the information that you have read about ASEAN, now you will work in a group of 5 in 5 minutes and try to remember as many details as possible, which are paid on the following main points, and then close the book and quiz each other to see how much you have remembered. Do you understand, class? Okay, let's do the task. That's all for today's lesson. At home, you have to learn vocabulary, do exercise in the workbook with more information about ASEAN countries, and prepare for the next lesson. Goodbye, class.